Most of the American population eats meat on a regular basis. After all, we're all animals, and meat is very nutritious and tasteful. The problem is the amount of meat and the rate at which Americans consume it, leading to the use of factory farms all around the nation. Today, I will show you guys the harms that factory farms create in our nation, and I will convince you to reduce meat consumption. Notice how I say reduce and not end meat consumption. This would help improve the environment, it'll help our animals, and our own personal health. In the article published by the University Wire by Nicholas Coleman in 2016 states, animal agriculture is the number one consumer of fresh water by a significant margin. Animal agriculture consumes on average 55 trillion gallons of water annually. On a micro level, it roughly takes 5,000 gallons of water to produce 1 pound of beef. Over meat production and consumption is very harmful for the environment. Today, I will specifically talk about how reducing meat consumption can hugely benefit the environment, animals, and again, our own personal health. The amount of meat consumed by Americans today requires the use of factory farms. In a study performed by the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations in Rome 2006 states, animal agriculture is responsible for 18% of greenhouse gas emissions, more than the combined exhaust fuels from all transportation. These farms harm the environment massively, releasing harmful gases and waste at alarming rates. Factory farms and overconsumption of meat are problems that have existed for many, many years. People have studied these problems and they have dedicated their entire careers to ending the same problem. Individuals like Jonathan Foyer, the author of the book Eating Animals, dedicated his whole career to ending factory farms. As he states on his book, we know, at least, that the decision of ending factory farms will help prevent deforestation, curb global warming, reduce pollution, save oil reserves, lessen the burden of rural America, decrease human rights abuses, improve public health, and help eliminate the most systematic animal abuse in history. Ultimately, though, factory farms do not have the power. We, the consumers, do. Us, in this classroom. We have the power to change and choose whether to keep consuming meat and support factory farms, or we could change our habits and help end this problem. Today, I hope I provide some information and arguments that will convince you to reduce meat consumption. As previously cited, Nicholas Coleman states in his article, understand that a vegan diet produces the equivalent of 50% less carbon dioxide, and it uses 1/11th of the oil, 1/14th of the water, and 1/18th of the land of meat production. The choice is clear. To truly address ecological devastation and sustain Earth's expanding population, switching to a predominantly vegan diet is not only important, but it is necessary. Today, you can help solving the problem by reducing your weekly meat consumption and by making dietary changes that are more organic and natural. People may argue that meat is necessary for their diet and that they need to consume meat in order to meet their nutritional goals. This isn't true. There are many non-animal products and diets that provide the same nutrients and proteins without the need of consuming meat. Now, imagine a world where meat consumption and factory farms are non-existent. This would mean that extreme reduction in animal abuse, less contamination, cleaner airs, cleaner oceans, and a healthier population worldwide. Today, you guys can make a change by making some immediate dietary changes that involve reducing meat consumption and by stop consuming meat and by stop supporting factory farms. As I mentioned earlier, most of Americans eat meat on a regular basis. After all, meat is very nutritious and tasteful. I am not a vegan, and I am not trying to convince you guys to become vegan. My goal here is to inform you about the harms of over-consuming meat, with hopes to guide you to a more sustainable diet that requires reduced meat consumption.